Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of A Recipe for Adventure. I'm your host, Freebie Wits, and this is my good friend, Sai. Sai, say hello.
Say hello.
You're not even taking it literally because I didn't say hello. I just said say hello
Yeah, because my brain was actually going to say just hello, and I had to catch myself at the last second.
because I didn't say just hello. I just said mm, okay, okay. I'm gonna have a quick drink of soda. To be clear, I'm not actually American. I just happen to have picked up a lot of Americanisms by watching too much American TV as a child. It has damaged me.
That happens a lot.
Uh,
You pick up like Americanisms from like American TV.
to be clear, we are both Aussies.
Yeah, Aussie True Blue.
We're not going to reveal too much more about that because we don't want what do they call them?
Don't
Uh,
want to dox yourself.
don't want to dox myself. That's the word. One day when I'm rich enough to have bodyguards and a bunch of security systems and maybe even turrets, maybe then I'll dox myself. But until then, no thank you. So, uh, Sai,
Yes.
our first non-campaign question for the day. That's still related to D&D in some way, and also, holy crud, this is amazing! You really outdid yourself on this map.
Oh, you're looking at the dungeon map right now, huh?
It's freaking beautiful, mate. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Um, the question I wanted to ask you is: Is there a character archetype or class that you've
Ooh.
yet to play but really, really want to?
Oh, that is tough. Because like I've had a couple of times where I've had like I would say kinda yes, kinda no. If I could say that I technically have a character that I played like one session and then like the session got cancelled. So I hope that still counts.
I will accept this. Yeah, I'll accept this.
Because I've actually tried twice now to do a character with this type of concept, only to have both campaigns I've tried this concept with get cancelled. But
Okay.
I basically wanted to play a character who struggles with his like inner rage.
Okay.
Like whether it's because he was like a dragonborn, like a red dragonborn with like anger issues from too much like pure dragon blood and like the heat, the fire, or if I was playing like a tiefling monk dealing with like the inner demons that he has. But I basically want to play a character who's dealing with his anger issues, potentially taking like barbarian levels if I am too heated during like a section of campaign, and basically play them out with the idea of letting the roleplay come natural and seeing if, as they develop, they just give in to that heat, to that anger,
That's a very
or if
interesting.
they can actually calm themselves down.
That's a pretty interesting concept from a role play perspective. Not like the idea has been done in like TV shows, cartoons,
Hmm.
animes, movies, done to death tons of times. But from a role playing perspective, it's interesting because the right thing to do from a meta perspective as a barbarian is to get angry all the time.
Yeah.
It's like me playing, say, a wizard and saying, "Oh, as part of my role play, I don't use magic unless I'm like confused or something like that." You are actively handicapping yourself.
Well, the idea is like I would be another class to begin with. So my first instance with the Dragonborn, I was planning Paladin,
Paladin, sure, sure, sure.
and then whenever my anger gets too much for me for that stretch of time,
Then you'd
I
raid.
would I would dip one level into Barbarian,
Oh, I see what you're getting at. So it's not. I understand.
and
Okay, that's a bit.
then let the role play naturally determine if I progress along my more calmer class progression that like my character wants to pursue, or if their anger gets the better of them and I keep doing more and more like
I
barbarian type
see
things.
what you're. Oh, I still think, like, mechanically speaking, you are
Yeah.
sort of handicapping yourself because you're essentially
Yes.
like, if you go into Barbarian even once and then become calm the rest of the time, you've essentially gotten a class feature that you will never use purposefully, but even though you can use it. But I do like this idea of choosing a class based on like roleplay. I think we've all done it one time or another, like, oh, this specific character is teaching my guy how to shoot arrows. I should take a less level in ranger or fighter or something along. I Yeah, no,
Yep.
it's not too different from that. Um, on a more extreme example, we are currently in a campaign with a warlock character, and I think he's role playing it as the less influence his patron is having over him, the less levels in warlock he's actually taking. So he's actually taking fighter levels now because he hasn't had much contact with said patron for a while. Am,
And
am
he
I
can
reading that
just
right?
yeah, and he can actually pursue his martial talents and skills.
Because he was basically a hexblade warlock, so he did have some martial stuff involved in the first place, but now he's focusing more on it, which I really love from a role plays perspective.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I like that character. Okay, let's not get. I'm trying to like keep
Well,
this first bit brief, just because like I
yeah,
want to
but
get onto this thing.
we got to reverse it though. You got to go and share yourself as well.
Right. Um, I've always loved the idea of a non-magical support character, and I have
Hmm.
done it before, but this way I'm going to do it a bit differently. Um, I want to play the bodyguard. Like, my job is to keep other people alive. And I don't mean like tanking specifically, although that is obviously a big part of it. I mean, I specialize in keeping this one specific person alive because they are my boss, because I was hired to do it. I want to take that specific bodyguard archetype action movie character and
Hmm.
play that basically.
Yeah, I could imagine like a cavalier fighter because they have like the ability to like mark and be like, no, you attack me or you have disadvantage.
The
As well as like support from like say maybe you have like the ability to use medkits with the healer skill to help like protect people.
Yeah, uh, I'm still a bit upset because in I don't even think it was 3.5 actually. I think it was in third edition. There was a prestige class. It was not called the bodyguard. It was called something else, like defender or guardian or something. And their entire shtick is that if someone targets your charge, like you pick someone at the start of combat to be your charge,
Hmm.
if that charge is targeted, you can change that target to yourself. And if that happens, your AC, you get a bunch of like buffs, like your AC increases, your saves increase. So if someone says like, "Oh, I rolled 20 to hit your wizard friend," I'm like, "Nope, it's hitting me. Oh, what's that? My AC is now like
Oh,
higher than it was before because I swapped it over to me."
yep.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Yeah,
And
no, I would change my answer. I would not do fighter. I would do paladin.
paladin?
There's a cleric slash paladin spell where you can actually take
Oh, half the
half the
damage.
damage.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. Hmm. Oh,
which I think would lean into that really well too.
So yeah, eventually one day, maybe even in the next campaign we play together, I would play a paladin bodyguard, and I would talk to one of the players and say, "Hey, can if you're playing a noble, can I be your bodyguard?" Like, I don't
I'd
even
I'd be up for that.
like if you're the noble, I can be like, "Yep, I'm his bodyguard. I'm not his servant. I'm his bodyguard. I keep him alive. That's my job."
Hmm.
And here's the funny thing, like with that specific prestige class, right? Note the wording. I can choose a charge and take his spot for like being targeted, and that'll give me an AC increase.
Yeah,
Imagine if there were
pretty
two
good.
bodyguards who targeted each other.
Potentially ridiculous.
Potentially ridiculous. So it's like every time they hit him, I would get in the way and get the AC boost. Every time someone targets me specifically, he would get in the way. Like, I can't remember how it was worded, but rules as written, if I got in the way, right? Then the new attack would be targeting me. Therefore, he could then get in the way of that. But then because he got in the way of that and it was targeting him, I could then get in the way of that and just keep looping until our ACs got ridiculous. Because if I remember correctly,
Any good DM would just slap that on the nose right then and there. Like,
yeah, the DM would say, no, stop that.
yeah, there's rules as written, and then there's rules as intended.
Yes. No, DMs would never let you do that. It's
Or
so
let you
dumb.
do it once.
It's like you can do it once, but never again. No, no,
Yep.
no. The evil DM would pit you against a bad guy who did the exact same thing. It's like, yeah, sure,
It's
you
like,
can do that if you want.
but I get to do it too.
Yep.
Yep.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
All right, on to the actual battle map. Oh my god, it's a freaking lighthouse that's collapsed. It looks
Yeah.
way better than I thought it would.
And I still have the old drawing laid over top too,
We could
so
probably
we
get
can.
rid of that part, I
Well, I
guess.
mean, we can, but I had it there to kind of show the
Oh,
general like
the
original
original
design
idea.
ideas. Yeah.
I like how you. What is that up there, anyways? Like, I assume that your map thingy didn't have a option for lighthouse light in it.
Yeah, definitely. Like it did not have sideways lighthouse light, so I just put a couple things together to look kind of interesting and be
Mm-mm-mm.
like, yeah, maybe it has like a cool like thing where the lighthouse light like
Would have been,
drops. Yeah, would have been dropped from the ceiling.
and then
Like,
like it's got like glass shards on the side and everything. I love
well,
that.
that's a like a broken window.
Oh! I can see
Yeah,
that.
broken window in the sand.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
So
good.
let let's get rid of the like the blue like little drawings here. But what we can do,
The red parts are really important here.
yes, leave the numbers because they denote areas for dungeon building.
Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna make a completely new document,
Okay.
and in Slate Town quests, I'm gonna put down the go to document to what do we call this? Vodus's collapsed hideout,
I think flooded lighthouse is pretty simple.
flooded
And
lighthouse. Can you see it in your documents? Hang on, get a. All right, can you see it in your like list of folders and stuff like that? This document, I'm pretty sure I set this entire folder share and show.
it should turn up, but whether it will turn up immediately or not, I don't know. I'll have to open up this new document and see. No, no, I don't see anything. I'm in some sort of weird document called Flooded Lighthouse. I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Gosh, damn it!
Yeah. Okay. No, I can see it. It's all good. So,
No, that's not how you do it. I remember there's a way to link. How do you insert link? Here we go. Type
yeah,
in flooded lighthouse. Here we go.
and
And
you go
apply.
into it.
So if you go from Slate Town Quest and click on it, like in the actual like doc PDF that we'll be making, I'll say like go to
Hmm.
page so and so. Usually they put all these like big map descriptions near the end, don't they? Or I suppose it depends.
Uh, Usually at the bottom pages and such.
Okay, so it's flooded. Lighthouse was the original lighthouse by Slate Town till a what did we say destroyed it? A hurricane or a flood or
It was like it was just like a really powerful storm.
okay, till a storm and poor foundations. Oh, wait, and poor foundations forced oh, forced the building collapse partially into the sea. All right, and then we talk about the each individual sections. Oh,
Yep.
sections. Did
So
we
we
mention in the
have
Slate Town quests that they could get into this
yes.
hideout will function as a dungeon with traps? Not. Yada yada. It has two entrances, one by land, other by water. Okay, yep. So we
Yep.
will talk about those possible entrance points when we get to the section.
Yep.
So section one.
Yeah. So we have the numbers like this. Do we want to move the numbers around a bit? Because I think we put 5 for outside initially because we discussed doing stuff there. But
Yeah.
I think swapping the numbers around is probably for the best. So
Section
I'm actually
one is
going to,
section one on the outside, you think?
yeah, I'm going to do section 1 and section 2 for the outside. So 1 is from like the pathway up to the old lighthouse. 2 is the underwater entrance,
I gotta
and
ask.
then 3, 4, 5 for the actual incisors of the area.
I've got to ask, like, how open are these actual areas? Like from one to three, is there actually any barrier? Like, if I'm standing in three, can I pull out in one, for example?
Well, that is something that we have to decide. Because like I depicted a little rubble here, so I imagine in my imagination, I imagine you have to like climb over the rubble on one side and like kind of scoot down the other.
I like that. I like that. So
So it is not a traditional door, but it would break line of sight.
I think that's very interesting. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Okay. So section one is approach Lighthouse from the main road from Slate Town. Okay, and so I wonder if we want any perception checks involved or even
Hmm.
secret doors. I say secret, but like I don't
Yeah,
see much room for that
yeah,
here.
yeah. This is not a case for secret doors.
Okay.
Now, I'm thinking, as per our discussions last time, of having, um, the Father Giovanni and his men potentially somewhere. I am thinking what might be interesting is if one is relatively unguarded at this point in time.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
if exiting via one after, fighting Vodos, that you might see some of Father Giovanni's men having just arrived.
so like
Well,
arriving to the lighthouse? Or...
yeah, because like that's the thing, right? We can either do a thing like because this is a big, this is our first big dungeon.
Mm-mm.
We can just do a thing where like most of the rooms are either empty or like filled with enemies and such. But a good thing with dungeon building is thinking about how it flows in real life. Like, do we think the outside of this building is going to be guarded, considering that Vodos is a loner?
That's a good point.
I feel like Area One should be safe unless Father Giovanni and his men are turning up. But I feel like that's a bit of a weird situation to start
What
arriving here
if
at.
we do the opposite? Father
Yeah.
Giovanni is just
Interesting.
because you mentioned Father Giovanni
Mm.
is a bit two-faced. So what if his initial like interactions with the players are friendly and he kind of like leaves them to do their thing?
So they get there to see a priest,
Yeah.
and he gives them some warnings about the area.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I like that. It's a potential first little introduction to the father before any potential actual hostilities with him. I like
Yeah.
that
And then
because
like
if you go path two, you'll miss him, but we don't want to do anything that would tip you off at the moment. So yeah, I think a little meeting with the father who's like checking the area out and like warns you that there are dangerous people here. From
yeah,
his point of view, it's like a hey, don't get too close, it's dangerous.
and
And
like the
from
players could have like a good impression of this random stranger.
yeah,
And then when they meet him again, they're like, "Hey, you're that guy who warned us about the dangerous people. You were right, but we got him." And oh, I'm so glad you children are safe. I was
yeah,
worried that the worst could have happened and all that stuff.
yeah. Whereas like he comes across nice, but actually he's just hey, I don't want you snooping around this place. It's dangerous. Please leave.
But he doesn't say it that way.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
there is an older man in the cloth, uh, just leaving the area. Looks older man with a weathered of the cloth with a weathered face. A third face just leaving the area. He looks worried. If approached, he will introduce himself as Father Giovanni and warn the party that this is a dangerous area with bandits inside. If asked why he is here, will tell players that he was actually was for crabs till said bandits turned up.
Okay.
Here, say looking for crabs and bandits. Okay. Do we want the players to even try to insight check this guy?
Players will. So I'm in Father Giovanni's stat block right now, and one thing I noticed is that default priest has some skills,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, okay, the priest, like the standard priest, has expertise in medicine.
Or
I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm like, hey, what if we take the expertise from medicine
put in
and
deception.
put it into deception instead? And then I buffed his charisma 1 point because I felt like it.
So how
So
much would he get on a 10?
he has +6 deception.
That'll be
So
16 minimum.
six, yeah. So that'd be DC 16 to note that he's avoiding answering his real reason.
So
Not not that he is up to something bad, just he is avoiding the real reason.
avoiding question, but he truly is trying to warn players away from what he believes danger
Well, actually, I would change it. Trying to warn the players away from the area, because that is technically what he is doing.
area. Okay, so he's avoiding the question, but he truly is trying to warn the players away.
This is one of those situations where you can use intention
Mm, I do
for
like
like,
that.
yeah. I like to think I am somewhat of a master of using intention for deceit.
I can see that in our D&D games.
Yes.
I think I'm getting pretty good at it myself with my
Hmm.
current character.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I have not been found out yet by the other
We've gotten
players. That is,
close. We have gotten close a couple of
they
times,
have
but
gotten close, and it's terrifyingly awesome.
mm,
I hope they can actually figure it out. I'm wondering if one of the players actually has figured it out yet, but they haven't said it out loud yet. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think more likely they dismissed it because it seemed a bit too outlandish. But that's fine. Yes, in this case, I think this is a good first meeting. It is a little optional meeting with Father Giovanni. Um, that's a good insight. Um, Hopefully, we do not have random murder herbos in the party who are just going to attack an old priest out in the middle of nowhere.
Might kick their
So
asses considering his level at this point.
he's decently strong, but is well actually no. He had his current stat block has spirit guardians. He might actually kick their ass.
Mm.
So we'll see.
You know,
But hmm. But yeah, for the time being, yeah, I think just like a little bonus meeting with Father Giovanni on the outside. That's nice, simple, really good. So now, if we are getting no combat in Area 1,
I will mention something about Father Giovanni.
ooh,
If attacked, will cover and knock players out for delivering them to the to Plate Town.
keep up the facade. Yep,
Yep. He will also call for mercy on their behalf. If attacked, and if attacked, wait, hang on, will fight back. Wins, he will maintain his cover. Oh, I like facade better. That's a better word than cover. I mean, it's the same thing, but
I like the word facade.
it's a good word. So the only other thing of this place is there is only one visible entrance into the lighthouse from here, and it is the ruined part of the wall that's roughly, let's say, 6 feet up,
Yep,
feet tall. It is, what do you call it? Where it's like sort of a ramp. It is,
climbable.
it is climb easily climbable. Fallen rocks are. Fallen rubble is easily climbable.
Oh,
Okay,
so I think that is a good section 1.
section
Uh,
2.
it does not lead to section 2, it leads to section 3.
Oh, whoops.
Because section 2 is the other entrance.
The bottom part, section 3. Excellent.
Cool.
Right you are, sir.
So that's because I wanted to do the entrances before getting into the actual building.
I think that's a smart way. All right,
Yeah.
so
So section 2 with
oh,
a fancy crab token because
I'll
I realized like with the resources that I have access to, I had well the crab stat block which came with token.
oh, very
So
nice.
so giant crabs are pretty low on the danger level overall,
They can be
but
taken out by level 1 characters, I'm pretty sure.
they are weak. But do not underestimate them. They are tough.
We want to
They're,
only have 2 of them?
I I I would suggest only two,
Okay.
if only because you are fighting them in the water.
Oh, do they? Okay, I don't actually can breathe air and okay, yeah, you just even based off that alone.
Yeah, because you will potentially fight them underwater. It is dangerous.
Oh,
Now, as noted on the map, there is sandbar, or well, I'm fairly sure you can easily tell what's sandbar and what's a bit deeper water
yeah,
by the
shallow water.
colorations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you're on the sandbar, you'll be able to fight them without being underwater. But if you fight them underwater, usually you have disadvantage on attacks and stuff. So you gotta be a bit more careful.
Okay. This is the part where we should mention
Mm-hmm.
um what is and isn't a sandbar. So,
Yep.
the darker water in number 2 is shallow. The darker shade of water is considered shallow, can be treated as, wait, what do you call it? Rough terrain? Is that what they call it? Where you can only move half speed? Rough
Uh,
terrain?
uh, underwater is difficult terrain.
But this isn't underwater and underwater. Like this dark part. Walk across it, can't you?
No, this would be technically underwater. The darker part would be like the swimming water.
Wait, what's this then?
That is the sandbar.
Oh, that's the part you can actually walk on. Oops, I
Yes,
got them reversed.
the light part is the sandbar.
Dead water is considered shallow and can be treated as difficult terrain.
Yes. Sorry, I was looking up and getting this, which I'll quickly just
Oh,
format because this is something that's not always relevant, but it would be useful to have.
I
This is
think
the rules
like
for underwater combat.
I think like we can put that in a little sidebar. So if this was a book, it would be like in a
Yeah,
little side table,
but I want it here for purposes of, well,
ease and stuff like that.
yep.
Hang on, there is something we can do with this. Um, I'm just gonna copy that and insert table, a single table, and we can put it on the side over here as if it was a sidebar. Okay, hang on.
And I'll also turn off that.
I wish there was a way to actually, hey, dude. Yes, I can. Excellent.
Cool. Yeah, no, that works well.
Large table is considered shallow and can be treated as difficult terrain. Common, uh, the dark shade of water is considered deep water and can only normally swim in. Alright. Alright, and the crabs all start in the deep water. Are we saying they're hiding?
Um, I'm.
They have stealth skill.
They do.
That'd be what, 6 DC 16 to see them coming?
Well, their stuff is +4, so
Oh, right, I see. 14, sorry. And
yeah.
I like the idea is when if the players get out, they're gonna like wait and then try to grab them,
Hmm.
raffle them. Yeah. Okay. Uh, the two crabs will stay in stealth during this period and attack once the players come too close. Stealth, so see 14 perception. Okay.
There you go. That makes it a bit more easier to read.
Referring grapple their prey first.
Yeah. This fight can be dangerous,
Mm-mm.
but this is our like first dungeon. Characters level 2. You have allies. The escape DC is 11. It's not too hard. Players can get creative. Yeah, this should be like a tricky one.
Enemies in section 3 can hear what's happening in this area, but we'll assume the crabs attacking and eating prey, unless players eating.
Would you mean like section 4, which is the one that section 2 flows into?
What? Ah, yes, absolutely. Section 4. Thank you for correcting me on this.
Uh, it's a two-man show, right? I'm
Yes.
I'm here to keep an eye on what you're writing down. I'm staring at the map because I like looking at the map.
Yes.
The
Enemies. Yeah.
building is literally a cave. I made a cave and just made it as flat as possible.
We can have like some of the enemies like sitting over here, not really paying attention and stuff like that
Yeah,
later on. But okay, enemies in section 4 can hear what's happening in this area, but we'll assume the crabs are attacking and eating wildlife unless the players begin shouting or using louder spells.
yeah. So it spells like a thunder wave and shadow.
Yeah. At which point it's
Well,
like that.
yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not a fish the crabs are eating. What's going on there?
Like if the spell deliberately knows people can hear it like hundreds of feet away, sure.
Begin fences. Right. All right. So I'm gonna use the European way of spelling defenses. Defenses. Wait, is that the European way of saying it, or is that the Americanized way? Uh,
I cannot tell you at this point. I normally do see.
I'm
So
confused now. Yeah. All right. Let's do C. Why not?
well, I did see and it immediately said it's wrong. So
It feels weird, doesn't it? Like, what the heck? I,
we'll use we'll use this one because that's the one that Google likes, which means it's probably American.
as my one of my co-workers used to say, this Americanized bastardization of the English language pains my sensitive countenance.
Hell, wait. Oh, oh.
Oh,
I
what's
looked it up.
yeah?
For the plural, it does actually swap out the C for the S.
Oh, that's weird. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because I clicked on the dictionary to look it up. I'm like, hey, what's going on here?
I
And it
suppose.
deliberately notes defense is spelled with a C, defenses is spelled with S.
Oh, that's learn something new every. I suppose when you're talking about like octopus and octopi as a plural,
Hmm.
it does change the spelling of it a bit of adding an S to the. Okay,
Also, the English language loves to make rules and then promptly break them, like every like 2 minutes.
I mean, based on that idea, octopus wouldn't be. I mean, if we're using the octopus and octopi logic, it would be defensi instead of defenses. I
So I
don't.
said, make and break rules.
English language is idiot.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Probably doesn't help it's made from like several different languages smushed into one.
do we actually want these crabs to behave like wild animals? Like if one of them goes down, the other will just panic and try to leave.
Um, I don't think the crabs are smart enough to really.
Understand that? They'll just try and kill the players until they die. Okay, okay.
Yeah, they literally have one intelligence.
Do we want to give them any loot or anything like that? Like a adventurer
Ooh,
or
you know
have them
what?
lootable, like their corpses?
Um, maybe there's like a pearl under the rubble near one of the crabs.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Like a pearl worth like 10 GP.
okay.
Not like a huge amount, but a little something.
Alrighty. In that case, check. Perception, let's say 12 DC. Oh, you know what? I like this idea because if they pass the perception check 12, they'll find the pearl and not realize there's crabs.
Yep.
Yeah, you found the pearl. There is a pearl poking out from underwater, wedged in the rubble. It can easily enough and is worth, how much do you say? 10 GP?
Yeah, 10 GP.
Okay.
I'll quickly go consult my book because I think pearls might actually have a price. So I'll quickly check.
Oh,
If the pearl's worth more, it's worth more. That's fine.
I think like just pearls in general can be different prices because like you want 10 GP worth of pearls for this spell component or like 20 GP pearls worth of this spell component. But look it
Yeah.
up anyways just in case.
Um. Yes. Each oyster has a 1% chance of having a giant 5,000 GP pearl inside from a
That's
random undersea encounter. Okay. Um.
that's a
A
giant
standard
though.
a standard pearl
Yeah.
on the gemstone. A standard pearl is worth 100 GP.
Whoa. We
You know
want to.
what? Let him have it.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
The all things considered, the two crabs might seem innocent enough, but it is potentially very dangerous. So I'll if they find the pearl, let them have it. Because I mean, like realistically speaking, what's going to happen is they'll probably end up selling the pearl, get 100 GP, and they can buy like 2 healing potions.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also put a note: if the players roll lower than 14 on this check, then whoever goes to retrieve the pearl is attacked first by the crabs with advantage.
Yep. Cool.
That's like the
So,
whole greed thing is like, ooh,
mm,
pearl.
yep. Cool. So
So it's
now
like a
we,
little nature-made unintentional trap.
yep.
Um,
So,
does this wording
yeah.
make sense? There is a pearl poking out from underwater, wedged in the rubble. Be retrieved easily enough and is worth 100 GP. Basically, I'm just saying like you don't have to roll anything to grab it. If the players
Yep.
roll lower than 14 on this check, then whoever goes retrieve the pearl is attacked first by the crabs with advantage,
Yep.
just to make
That's
it even
fine.
deadlier.
Yeah. You could change it so that's like those who roll below 14 do not notice the crabs, and so the crabs get advantage are hidden for the first turn. But I think how you've written it is fine. Because the point is you understand.
Righty.
Cool.
Do we want to put anything else into, like maybe something to do with the vegetation? Like, because I was just still thinking about like potion ingredients or something,
Um,
or even the crabs, or even the pearl, actually.
well, I think between the pearls worth 100 GP, I think that's enough in terms of loot.
Okay, okay. We don't have to worry about anything else for section two.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So, section three,
Yep. So I think section 3, 4, and 5 should have some form of battle.
potential battle at least.
Yeah.
I think for three, we have some bandits like sleeping in this area, which would explain why they don't rush out to help section four when something they sneak in. Oh, maybe not that because Father Giovanni is just okay. Yep, never mind. Ignore that idea. All right, what do we want to do here?
Well, if Father Giovanni noticed the bandits, that suggests that the bandits are in some place where they can be noticed, right? So having some bandits in section 3 makes sense.
Mm-mm.
Realistically, because Vodos is a loner, they are most likely actually bandits that work for Father Giovanni.
Mm, mm, mm.
So, but yeah, I'm fine with there being a couple of bandits here.
What did we use for the bandit? Uh, Wait, let me just go to the sheep tree. I love how there's a map thingy literally called the sheep tree.
Yep,
This guy, I'm just gonna copy him. I wonder if this works. Can I copy and paste across different sheets?
because what I can
I
do
can.
is because we don't have one, I will get a standard bandit stat block to put down into section as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they have a standard token, but if we want, I can swap out the standard token for your token.
All right, because you have a. No, I want to use yours just to show that they are different, like members of like gangs and stuff like that. So we the other ones for the one in the sheep
Yeah.
for like Sasha's gang, the Ember
Mm-hmm.
gang, I think we call them, and these guys can be part of Father Giovanni's gang. So did we?
Well,
Don't have to talk about what they're called yet. They can just look like generic bandits at the moment.
yeah. So as a thought, like there's the standard bandit, but in terms of muscle, there is technically another guy that I think works really well with bandits. That's technically not a bandit, but does a good job of being like a kind of natural progression. And that is the stat block belonging to the thug.
Oh, I like that. Can you put the yes? Oh, 32 hit points.
Yeah,
So he's like essentially. Do we want to just quickly give Father Giovanni like double hit points quickly?
Father Giovanni, double the hit points. Okay, give me a second. I will just give him the good old
I love his
double.
I love his token picture by the way. That does look like generic holy father who has your best interests at heart. Man, is it me or does the thug actually look kind of handsome? Like he's got a really strong jaw and everything.
I
And the
mean,
his hair's tiny bit scraggly, but it's like it's brushed.
I mean, he's a bit more upper class than a regular bandit.
He
But
looks
yes,
like he puts effort into his. Sorry, why am I talking about? Anyway, sorry, you're saying?
yeah. So the good thing about the thug is that
Yes,
a thug by himself is dangerous.
yes.
They're a bit stronger. They have more hit points. But what really makes a thug dangerous is pack tactics.
Oh, basically what wolves get.
Yeah.
Oh,
So one thug by himself
isn't so bad.
isn't bad. What is rough is if there is multiple thugs. So what I am suggesting
Huh?
is maybe like two bandits and a thug.
That'll be a pretty difficult fight, but I think players, if they get the drop on them, is should be easy
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. And like we got two bandits, right? We could have the two bandits like sitting over here by themselves. And then the thugs like sitting on like maybe wading in the water, just like rustling through the crates, seeing if there's anything useful in them or something.
Anything that's worth anything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that gives you a bit of like a kind of like division of strength.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
It's like, yeah, we don't want like what we want is to introduce a thug as like a more powerful, dangerous bandit, but without
Mentioning
leaning.
why they're so dangerous.
Yeah, like if we get a situation where a thug attacks someone that the bandit has, note note how good they are at teaming up.
Is he actually swimming in this water, or
I imagine he's wading like up to his waist.
want to make this water a bit lighter?
That's a bit hard,
Oh,
but like we can say he's swimming. like I was thinking like I was just putting up kind of general idea. If you want to say that he is actively swimming, we can,
Okay.
because that even gives you a bit of an advantage to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hit him at range while he's like checking out rubble and stuff.
Is flooded. Okay, so the room is half flooded on the south corner, away from the rubble. A pair of bandits, bandits chatting each other casually. North end. Okay, hang on. To the north end, submerged water, submerged in water. There's a larger, thuggish looking man. Appears to be wading water. Wait, wading. Wading's where you're like sort of half swimming and staying one place, right?
Wading is like up to your waist, roughly.
Okay, what's the uh keeping is to be keeping afloat.
Treading water, I think, is the term you're
Treading
looking for.
water. Appears to be treading water. That is the phrase I was looking for. And occasionally dipping their head underneath to examine something amongst the rubble. The northeast corner there is an opening. The next and section 4. Players can perform a stealth check at, we want to say at advantage or just the stealth check at
I think just
DC.
a self check should be fine.
So, all right, like what's the perception check on these guys? And then we want to make it a bit lower because they're not paying attention. So,
Well,
passive
like
perception
passive
10.
passive perception is like passive perception, right?
Yeah, these guys are just 10. Do
Yeah.
we want to make it easier than 10 since they're
No,
distracted?
no, I think ten's fine.
At 10, the sneak past bandits or to ambush them. So, if these bandits are still alive and players make a ruckus in section 4, they will then come to help. So if players do things quietly, they can just avoid these guys completely.
Mm-hmm.
But it can make it more dangerous as well. I'm just looking at this. Technically, going in through number 2 can make things more dangerous.
But they do get the pearl out of it.
They do get the pearl out of it. Um, all right, I think that section 3 is fine.
Yep.
Uh, so number 4. All right, what do we want to put there? Like another thug and 2 bandits?
I like if I was gonna do it, I would upgrade to two thugs because they are a bit more bulky. They continue up to better. Technically, I was thinking it would be kind of interesting because like past this point, you're like heading into water territory, right?
Yeah,
I don't think Father Giovanni's bandits would be as interested in like going too much further.
yeah.
So like part of me is like Area 3 introduced bandits. Area 4, maybe we should do something that would be like on Vertus's side instead of the bandits.
Like,
Because I was thinking what could be interesting is something like maybe a giant octopus.
oh, Okay. Do you have a giant octopus token?
Do I have a giant octopus token? I
Or
don't
just
know.
octopus token, actually? Let's see if I can find one of the free ones. Nope. I have to get them from the web.
Giant octopus. Well, looks like having access to all this little free stuff from Roll20 is helping out. Look at the giant octopus token.
How'd you get all these tokens for free? Is it because you bought like a package or something?
I don't know. I guess I just have access to a lot of the SRD stuff, token wise now these days.
I
Because like
definitely
I've bought a couple of modules off Roll20, so
that explains that then. Well, the octopus must have
oh,
come from.
actually, also I am technically I do have like the monthly membership. So I am subscribed. That probably helps.
That would explain it. And also,
Yeah,
we are not sponsored by Roll20, but if you guys want to give us some free stuff, we won't say no.
yeah,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But anyways, that actually
yeah.
looks like it's a really difficult fight for a bunch of level 2 characters.
Well, what I'm saying is not do the thugs, but like do like the giant octopus instead. Like
Uh,
the giant octopus, he is CR1. He is dangerous, but a party level twos will be able to beat him pretty reliably.
Okay.
But you know, he
Also an
does
animal.
pretty good dam. Yeah, he does pretty good damage. He like it's an animal. Because like the thing is, Vodos is a Triton.
Yeah.
He is a he's a person of the seas who doesn't get along with other bandits. It makes sense to me that he would have some aquatic life forms that would potentially help him out in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like a tamed giant octopus is really cool.
In that case, uh, I'm going to change the description in section 3. Instead of saying if these bandits are still alive when players make a rock second call, they will come to help. I'm going to change it to they will, instead, I will say they will assume the giant octopus is eating the crabs. However, if players are verbal during their. Okay, actually, no, I'm going to put that in section 4. Well, X, if the bandits, okay, if bandits in section 3 are alive, and here players fighting the octopus, they
Hmm.
will assume it's just octopus eating the crabs. However, the players use loud spells or are very vocal, then bandits will go to investigate. There we go. I like this more.
Yeah, because I kind of like the idea of Vodos having underwater animals to assist, and the giant octopus. Like you get the giant crabs outside, the giant octopus to guard the main area,
So depending on
and
how things go, they
hmm,
could just skip the bandits completely.
yeah, which I think is fair.
Want to give the octopus a name? So when the
Um,
players kill it, they can say, oh, "You killed him." Her.
hmm. I've never been great at naming pets, but I guess we should think about like what kind of pet owner is Verdos? Is he the kind of one who would name his like pet octopus Slappy?
I was gonna say Mr. Handy. I've been playing a bit of Fallout 4 recently.
Mr. Handy? Yeah, I actually don't mind the octopus being called Mr. Handy.
Mr. Handy. Okay. The octopus. is named Mr. Handy. Uh, we want to say Mr. Handy can be bribed and bypassed.
A animal handling check
Yep.
with one of the dead crabs.
Yes. Handling DC. What DC do we want? That
Considering he's a tamed animal, I would probably say like DC 14 or 15. A bit of a higher check.
14. If bribed with a dead crab corpse.
I don't think you need to say dead crab corpse. I think just dead crab's easy enough to understand.
I had an idea. This will probably never come up, but animal handling DC 14 with advantage if bribed with a portion of the sea serpent.
Okay. We established the sea serpent's a delicacy.
So that could be one of the ways to get past it. Okay. Mr. Handy is trained to fight off intruders, but can be bribed food. Um, do we want to have like animal handling like disadvantage for all other food?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
If
Like,
disadvantage bribed food.
and just move that one to the bottom.
Oh, right, because of the way it's worded.
Yeah, cool. If you probably move some of the crabs from outside, boom. Regular.
With disadvantage, and then roll with it. Roll with advantage. Okay. Yeah. What can be bribed with food? I just like the idea that Mr. Handy can be bribed at all.
Yep.
Alright.
Cool. I think that's really good.
Right, so um stick in Photos the Unsunken. And where do we want to put him? Near the altar or
Uh, because there's a treasure chest down there on the map.
yeah.
So like, they're partially in the water, emerging from it. Not sure. I kind of like him being at the back of the room because I imagine his escape is technically out through here.
Uh-huh. Like can he like if he goes underwater, is there like a secret underwater entrance slash exit through there?
Not necessarily on the map, but I would like to imagine that they're like, because of the sand here, like the sandbar. Technically, there's like a window here,
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
and that like he basically can just quickly like slip through the sand and get
Schlip.
out.
I like the way you pronounce that.
Yeah.
Schlip. Okay, so 5 is where 5.
Okay. Now,
Now,
Vodos has sneak attack, and that's what makes him dangerous.
do we want to make it so that if he hears the fighting, he will like hide and stuff?
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. He has like those roguish tendencies. So he could like hide behind this crate over here.
Okay, so if Vodos is fighting in section 4, we'll assume Mr. Handy attacking crabs. However, if the players are vocal or use spells, we'll prepare by hiding behind large rate and attempt to sneak attack the party. Okay, and his stealth is pretty good.
Yeah,
So let me just double check what it is. Vodos the Unsunken. Stealth is stealth. +4. I'm surprised he doesn't have like a. It's not higher for some reason.
well, he's just using like a generic stat block at the moment
Okay.
with like boosted stats. We can adjust his stats as we feel appropriate.
Okay, so we'll just say DC 16 then. Perception
Yeah,
DC 16
and
spot.
cool. And then I will buff his stealth to +6. He has he's a rogue. He gets to have you know expertise. Now, while you're doing that, I want you to think of something for me, or
Oh,
like, well, think with me, I guess.
okay.
Verdos is a rogue.
Yes.
Uh, he is going to attempt to fight here and flee when things get poor.
Sure.
But because he is a rogue, usually you want something to fight alongside the rogue.
Oh,
So we need something else in this room that Vodos can use to help fight, even if it's just like one enemy. So we can have a couple of extra crabs in this room if we want.
I have an idea. A mimic.
That is pretty dangerous.
Could be a smaller mimic. Wait, what's the DC on a mimic? In it. Yeah.
The regular mimic, I believe, is basically a level 2, like a CR2 creature.
Think that might be a bit much for a party of level 2s.
Um, well, the mimic by itself is like a rough equivalent of a level 2 party, or a fair fight for a level 2 party.
Hey,
The
maybe not.
problem, the problem is mimic plus Vodos.
Would be a bit too much then. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
particularly because the mimic would technically be stronger than Vodos.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Won't
like
use.
what I was thinking
Oh.
is like another like underwater creature potentially. Because like I was thinking, okay, what's the good stuff that can swim, that can fight, can go on ground, which is important.
Otherwise, how else would have we gotten here?
Yeah, and so I was looking through the options, and a couple of them kind of stand out to me. Once again, we can do the giant crabs because they can grapple people and stuff.
Actually, I have an idea. What if it was only locked to sea, and that's why Vodos keeps coming back to the lighthouse?
Go on.
So it could be like a baby, like originally it could have been a baby animal that he just found here once, and he's
Mm-hmm.
never like taken it out. And by the time he thought to do that, it got too big for Vodos to carry, and now it's stuck in here. So he keeps bringing back food and stuff to this animal. And at one point, Vodos will be like, "Okay, I will surrender if you don't hurt this animal," sort of thing, and he will not be lying.
Okay.
So it could be anything from a dolphin to a shark, but whatever it is loyal to him, and it is stuck in the water.
If it's stuck in the water, we
What
can
if
have
it?
stuff like sharks.
We could give the shark like the ability to use a spell for all we know,
No.
or a ranged attack. Yeah.
Um,
Are there any
like
like aquatic animals that can use ranged attacks?
ranged. Um, standard animals that use ranged attacks? Not really. If we
Monsters.
wanna, if we wanna go into more like monsters that can swim and use ranged attacks, maybe I can find something.
And my thought process for this is even if it's a higher CR than, say, even a mimic, right? Which would have been too much,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it's water based only can make it a bit easier.
Hmm. Yeah, trying to find something that might work. Finding a ranged attack is going to be the kind of weird one.
It doesn't necessarily need a range attack. It could have a magic item, or even if we give it like
Yeah,
a cantrip that's like, oh god, Vodos taught this thing to be a sorcerer or is a sorceress creature, and we just give it like a cantrip to shoot firebolt or something, even. I think that would be hilarious.
uh, for me. I don't think an enormous tentacle is considered a beast. I would not consider that a beast. Um, Giant moray eel, hunter shark, marrow, the naiad. That's a bit more.
I wish I had my monster manual on me. I've got
Yeah,
to put it away in storage somewhere, and that's really annoying me. I'll have to go through my player's handbook, which might be something back here.
yeah. Because trying to find something that can do ranged attacks from the water, it's all stuff that are like humanoids already, or are like baby dragons.
Like I said, it doesn't necessarily need range attack specifically. It can just be a sorceress version.
Yeah,
Alright, the only thing I have here is a reef shark, but that's like it.
like because originally I was just gonna say like a saltwater crocodile.
But that can like get out and like help out a bit more. I just
Yeah,
like the idea of a creature that's a lot more dangerous than it should be, but like because of the terrain and situation, it's been nerfed. I've only got my player's handbook and like dungeon master guide on me.
yeah. If we're talking about should be more dangerous but is currently nerfed, I think there's actually one which I think could be pretty cool.
Oh, what are you looking at?
Where is it? Give me a sec. Well, where is it? There's the water weird. There's the shoal. Where was it? I was literally staring at it before. Swarm. So you have the Plesiosaurus.
Isn't that like huge?
They are large.
Large.
So that's 2x2. Um, bite attack. Oh wait, no. Plesiosauruses technically have a 20 speed on land because I guess they're flippers.
Yeah, they can get on top like that. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, let me look up some CR. Okay, wait, the Dungeon Master's Guide I think has a section for CR monsters and stuff like that, if I'm not incorrect. Not quite. Oh, hang on. It actually has them listed, a bunch of them listed by
yeah. It has a bunch of
environment.
monsters. Yeah,
What's a
which is always
quipper?
really good. A
Challenge rating
quipper.
0.
A quipper is a very tiny fish.
Okay, definitely not good here.
Yeah, a swarm of quippers is basically like piranhas.
Oh. Ah, yes, a kraken. CR23. Let's throw that at the players. Why not?
Yeah, no, it's a bit too much.
Why don't we just say giant shark and call it a day?
Like a shark. Yeah,
Let's just throw a shark at them and call it a day.
yeah. I think for the time being, like just a reef shark is probably the best.
And you know what? We will say there is also a shark named Mr. Bitey. Like
Mr.
with
Handy and Mr. Body.
yeah, he is not the most creative when it comes to naming his dudes.
He doesn't have much social skills.
No. Which explains why he gets along with this. Alright, do you have a proper shark token by any chance?
Well, let's find out. I'm on Shark Token. Ooh, I have Hunter Shark, Giant Shark, and Reef Shark tokens.
Throwing the shark in there. Yeah. That their size? Medium creature?
That I believe a Reef Shark is medium in terms of size. Yes, but that's
Ah,
a bit too. But to be fair, a medium shark that's still gonna weigh a lot.
yeah. Odos does not have the strength score to pick him up.
Yeah, that
Alright.
is a that is a giant wet Labrador.
Mr. Bitey also has the feat. Wait, yeah. Why don't we just give Mr. Bitey the feat that gives him like spells? What is it called?
Um, Magic
Uh,
Initiate.
Magic Initiate. That sounds about right. What exactly does that give him? 160 page. One.
You get one first level spell and two cantrips
That
from a
is
class.
absolutely perfect. Does it say? Okay, it's any class. We want to make this little shark a druid in terms of like spell casting.
Druid makes sense, right?
Yeah. All right, let's have a look. See what kind of druids. This is the dumbest character, and I love it. All right, so first level. Let's say, oh my god, they can cast to cure wounds. Healing word. Can we please? Yes, as the feat magic initiate. All right, let's give this. Let's please give this shark healing word.
Okay. Okay, I can actually do that by altering its stat block slightly. So let's call him Mr. Bitey.
Yeah. What is with us and giving random ass animals special stats?
I mean, it's fun, right?
It is. We've done it to Jumper.
Spell casting NPC, wisdom based because of Druid. Okay,
What's his
and
wisdom anyway?
10. So, and not exceptional, but
Actually,
you
let's.
you wanted
It's
healing word, right?
yeah. Let's give him healing word. Okay, it is his
Okay.
best out of his spellcasting stats. So we
Yep,
accidentally lucked into the right stat.
makes sense. Healing word and two cantrips.
Okay, let's see. What's poison spray?
It,
Cantrip 10 feet. A puff of noxious gas from your palm. It's a save or just take damage. And then you gotta give him guidance.
we want to give him guidance and poison spray.
Maybe not poison
Okay.
spray, guidance and healing word.
He is a support shark. He
Exact.
is he is Virtus's emotional support shark.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Oh, can we please put that in like the flavor text of the shark?
Uh,
Brutus's emotional support shark.
yeah, and I want to give at least one ranged spell to actually like hit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm thinking frostbite.
Is frostbite? Oh, it's not in the player's handbook
It's
one.
not in the player's handbook. It's Xanath's guide to everything. I would have to add it in. That's technically a bit of work, but I can do that.
Frostbite. Let me look it up so I have more of a reaction to it. When
Or
oh,
Thorn Whip, which would be hilarious.
what it's like? So it'd look like his tongue or something.
Tongue like a fishing net or something, and just like drag it in towards him.
All right, let me look up the spells. Where is spells? Here we go, page 147. Uh, Druid spells: control flames, create bonfire, frostbite. What other things? He has gust, infestation, magic stone, mold earth, shape water, thunderclap. All right. Frostbite. Frostbite. I cannot. Here we go. You come. You okay? 60 feet. You cause a numbing frost to form on one creature. Constitution saving throw. Fail save. Take 1d6 damage and has this. Yeah, you know what? Let's give him frostbite, just because of the
Cool.
pun as well.
Yeah. That is something I'll have to just like actually plug into his stat block because Roll20 does not have it by default.
Frostbite specifically. Yeah.
But I can plug that in, um, which I might have to do after this session.
Oh, is it? Are we already at that point?
Well, time does fly.
Uh, I guess we did build an entire dungeon.
Yeah, we did accomplish a lot. We still have to do a little bit of writing for like the end of this last like fifth room, but we can do that next time.
All right. All right, everybody. You know the drill. Comment, like, and subscribe. And bye bye.
Ciao.